Yo, what's up everyone? Kyrios here, and today we're going to do who do I get with my SSR Selector. Now, I think I'm going to do this video a little bit differently because there's already some flowcharts out there. There's already some really good information out there. So I'm really just going to lay it on the table on who I think you should pick, just straightforward. I'm going to give you my biggest tip right in the beginning, and then I want to show you some of the future teams. You need to get that you're going to be building towards as a free to play or maybe as a pay to win, and that might affect who you're going to choose. So if you guys can hit that like and subscribe, go check out all our content on the Tower of Fantasy playlist, and let's get started. All right, guys, I want to front load you with the biggest tip I can give. Big tip. And I've been telling this to everyone every night. Don't beat yourself up on choosing someone right now. Now, if there's that character you want, just go pick that character, right? You know you're going to do it. You want that Samir, you want that King, you want whatever. Just go pick it, right? But look at this. I've already done 178 summons. Free summons, more or less, from all the events, getting stuff in the world, going to farm all the premium currency in the world. That's a lot of summons. So that means I've pitied at least twice, and I'm on my way to my third pity. And remember that your pity never resets on the general banner. So should you pick an SSR knowing that you're going to get about 200 summons, 240 summons within like a month? No, you should not. You should not do that. So let's look at mine real quick. All right, and quickly just looking through some of this, right? I have a lot, and like most of these aren't even leveled at this point. But if you look down here, you can see that I have 3 that have not been obtained. I've had some pretty good luck. I've pulled some SSRs on trying to get Nemesis. I've pulled some SSRs also on trying to just do my regular summons. And I haven't pulled any for purple matrices. I know a lot of people out there have pulled some lucky purples as well, so big congrats to you on that one. But this is what I mean, right? Look, if you get like 2, 3, 4 pities in, your decision's going to be easy peasy lemon squeezy, right? I'm missing Zero, Samir, and Huma. And if I was to pick one right now, it would definitely be Samir if I own Nemesis. And we'll get into that in just a second on how you guys kind of decide. But if you wait till you own a decent amount of these SSRs, it's going to make your decision a lot easier, because it's better to own all the SSRs than it is to get a dupe on one. Yes, are some of the dupes good, right? King's dupe is good. Samir's 1-star dupe is good. They all have really good dupes, but there's a lot of content in the game that you might switch it in and out. You might be doing bygones and it might have like a Samir's weapon, and then the next levels might be King's weapon. You might not have King, right? And you might need that, right? So it's better to have a variety of weapons than it is to select. So please, just pity 2 or 3 times and just see what happens, right? It's not going to take very long. It'll take a couple weeks, or depending on how fast you clear the whole map, it might take you a week to just clear it out. And then if you get to this situation where you're down to 2 or 3, that's an easy decision, right? So let's move on over to kind of the priority on who you would pick. Okay, this is super scrubby of me. You know, funny enough, I'm not the best at doing animations besides thumbnails and video editing. So I just wanted to make it more simplistic. And what I'm saying, and before everyone bites my head off over this thing, I do want to point out a couple of things real quick. One, you won't see characters like Shiro, Crow, or Zero that I'm suggesting per se. Now, they all have their use cases. They all are really good. For example, Shiro is very good in PvP as well. But Shiro really does require that 3-star, and she really comes alive at that 3-star to become more of a support and a damage shatter at the same time. So as a free-to-play player, you need to keep that in mind, that if a character does require unlocking at 3-star or beyond, it's going to be a little bit outside of your reach. So that's not really where my videos are designed towards. They're really designed towards the free-to-play. Crow is in the similar situation, right? Crow is not going to get suggested there too, unless you're really willing to go to that 3-star increases damage by 30%, or that 6-star increases damage by an additional 20%. And Crow has a very specific play style. Zero now, on the other hand, is very, very good and is very good in late game bygones and a few other places like PvP, stall comps, everything like that. So if you're PvP oriented and you're looking for that stall comp, right, Coco, Nemesis, Zero, just keep that in mind, and that's why I'm telling you that right now. But do realize that Zero is in the same boat where he doesn't technically heal unless you have his 1-star, and then he doesn't really come alive until at 5-star, 3-star and 5-star, but you get that additional damage boost at that 5-star. So he's not really going to get a whole lot of love from me on this list, at least from the rest of them. So let's talk about your priorities real quick. So your first priority is very easy peasy. Oh, and by the way, there are some great stuff out there. So you can see L4PQ has this flowchart, and there's actually nothing wrong with this flowchart. It's actually really good. Go check out his channel. He made a really good guide about it. I just get a little confused, me personally. There's a lot on the screen for me. But I think what's worth noting is that every SSR in both PvP and PvE will fall off eventually. And I'm going to show you that with some of the team comps I have built for you guys. So just keep that in mind. There are some pretty good flowcharts out there. But let's just simplify it even further. Do you have a shield breaker? Do you not? Do you care more about PvE and PvP? There's only 2 shield breakers really in the game. Shiro can do it, but really requires that 3-star, and it's King and Meryl. If you care more about PvE with more damage, you're going to want to go with King, especially with his 1-star. It's a little bit cracked. If you care more about PvP, you're going to want to go with Meryl. Now, both of them are strong picks. They're both going to help you out. They're both going to get the job done. I use both of them. They're great. I love them to death. Now, next up, we have DPS. Now, you're going to see I didn't put a lot of other characters up there, mainly because for obvious reasons, right? They require too many stars. So there's really only two you can choose from. There's Samir, and especially if you pull Nemesis. If you guys do pull Nemesis, pick Samir. That team is going to go for a very, very long time. Volt is one of the longest standing teams that haven't changed. I'm going to show you that in a second. Tsubasa is another great DPS, and also Tsubasa is also a really good support. Tsubasa could be here as well. So Tsubasa is a very good pick. Just realize that Tsubasa in a Frost team actually does get replaced, but Tsubasa as a support damage buffer does not get replaced. So a very strong pick there as well. And then finally, if you are more just the support player and you want to be a healer and anything like that, where you're pairing it with like something like Coco or like Pepper, right? You're going to want to pick Coco. Coco is just great out the gate. She gets better at 1-star. She gets better at all her stars, but she's great at 0 stars. So in that priority, do you have a shield breaker? You got to pick a shield breaker. You need a shield breaker. It's going to slow you down. It's going to hurt you. Do you have a primary DPS? Now, King and Meryl can be your primary DPS. That's fine. Not a problem. You can use that for a bit, but they're eventually going to fall off the bandwagon. So you need to have a primary DPS. Now, Crow and a bunch of others, like we said, can be your primary DPS, but require heavy investment, especially in maybe wailing a bit. Then finally, your support. So those are the ones I'd pick in that order, but I would still fall back to my previous point and just wait to the very end until you only have like 2 SSRs that you need to get left. All right, that brings me on to my little bit of a spoiler. I'm going to do a dedicated video on this later, but I just want to give you guys a little bit of spoiler at some of the future teams. Here's one of the fire teams. Now, why does this make a fire team, right? You're going to have core, fire, flex, and you're going to see this for all 3 teams. What does core mean? Core means that you bring that resonance. So if I go over here to Cobalt, you see Cobalt has this flame resonance, increases flame attack by 15% when equipping more. You guys have seen it on Nemesis, right? You're probably going to see her in core as well. So this is what builds a fire team right now. And Ruby is absolutely cracked. Probably does one of the highest single target DPS in the game and has shatter effect and everything like that. And that's why King eventually gets benched for Ruby. And then you're going to see all these flex, right? So you already have a shield breaker with a damage on top of that. So it's a shield breaker and damage. You have your flame resonance with more damage from Cobalt. And then you have a flex, right? You can maybe bring in Mark for some shielding. You're bringing Lin Yi in order to do more shatter, more just AoE damage. You bring Coco for some healing, right? Tsubasa for some more attack. And then you can do Claudia for more attack as well. So that's the best part about building these teams is you can flex that last person in there. And you can flex any. I mean, if you wanted to throw 0 up there, you can do it. If you wanted to throw up, you can throw anyone in flex, in all honesty, and it's going to be good. But I'm trying to show you that like a lot of the characters you guys are picking are kind of going to get outclassed a little bit. Next, we have Core, right? So if you pull Nemesis, right? Volt, right? There's no other Volt character in the game until this next patch at 2.2 in the Chinese version. The new polearm dude that's coming out. So there's no really other Volts in the game unless you're a 6-star. Okay, so let me throw that out. If you do 6-star Crow, then he will do better. So I will make that adjustment there. But then you have other supports, right? You do Saki for shield breaking. You need a shield breaker here. You don't have one, but you have a healer. So you put King, Shiro, Lin Yi in there, maybe Meryl, right? It's just an entire flex spot. But once again, like if you're out of your starters, right? There's Samir. Samir might give you your longest benefit. Looking at your Frost team, right? You have Saki as your core, right? It's going to give you that Frost resonance, and she's going to give you that shield breaking. Then you have Bayuka, which is a collab. Hopefully we do get her. She's absolutely really cracked. And then you have Frigg, and Frigg has a lot of great utility to her and does a absolute ton of damage. And you're going to see the common trend, right? Maybe you do Lin Yi. Maybe you put Coco in there for some healing, even though you have some lifesteal anyways. You can Sub-Zero in there. You have, not Sub-Zero, you can Sub-In-Zero. And then you have Tsubasa, and then you have Mark. So what I'm trying to say is that, like, there's really one character on this list, maybe 2 characters, right? If you put Crow up here, that are in that SSR selector that gives you that longevity. And it's really Tsubasa too. Let me actually I'm actually going to correct this real quick and put Tsubasa up here too. It's really Samir and Tsubasa in my opinion. If I'm not making that absolutely clear, if you're looking for the longest longevity out of your career, it's Tsubasa and Samir. And if you have both of those, you guys are in a great spot. So that's all I really have. I know that was a little scuff. I hope you guys did enjoy it. I think that will clear things up for a lot of people. And I think showing you guys some of the future teams that you're building from a Frost team to a Volt team to a Fire team. And remember, as a free-to-play, think very carefully because you're really only going to be able to build one of those teams. So think now, do I want to build a Fire team because I love Ruby? Maybe that's what I do. Maybe I build a Volt team because I pulled Nemesis. Right? Maybe I do a Frost team because I think Saki with the dual wielding katanas is absolutely adorable, right? So think about that as you are, as a free to play, as you're saving some of your stuff, and that should help you with your SSR selector. Let me know in the comments below if you have any other questions. I'll hit you up, I'll respond to them, and I do appreciate you. Fist bump from me to you.